Hello, coin friends. Hello, coin nerds.
That always sets a vibe.
I know. I try to set a vibe. I try to make
You
it.
too. You set a vibe so well. It's just awesome.
I try
Hello, coin nerds.
Hello, fellow coin nerds. How are we doing tonight? Good to see you guys all. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks everybody for showing up. This is typically a graduation party weekend, so anybody who showed up, hey, we're glad to have you. And
You're probably old and not at a graduation party. What? No,
I'm old. Not at a graduation.
You knew it was graduation party weekend. I had no idea. That tells you all I need to know right there.
I just read the chat.
Oh.
Well. For us, coins. I know, but this is graduation party weekend.
Guys,
so he's not having his Frosty's chit chat in the morning, which Paula commented that she misses. So let's say a lot of the people here. It's like we've got Dark Side Jack Young.
Yeah, buddy.
We have got let's see, Frosty's here, Adam's here, Paula's here. The first one here tonight was Yod Fan. No, it was Bradley Stagg and Yod Fan and Rockzilla.
Yep.
So thanks everybody for coming in. It's like I am glad to join you from Studio B.
Studio B for the moment.
Yeah, Studio B. We'll be back in Studio A soon. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, real quick. I know I'm not going to ask you again. Just everybody, stop what you're doing. Hit the thumbs up, like button, share it, whatever you need to do, please, for me. And then I won't ask you again. I promise. There's no time.
But if you do it for us, we'd really appreciate it. So
I won't. So hey, man, buddy, how's
Riley? I'm sorry. No, you should not feel like Chop Liver Jack Riley because you've been here. Fan of your work. Definitely a fan of your work. Chris K is here as well. Bill Young.
Nice.
Let's get you a roll call.
So how's biz been now that we're at stupid high level gold and silver's finally decided it wants to do something?
Well, it's really funny because just when you think you've seen it all,
right?
You see stuff that you've never seen before. And this week has just been nuts.
I know.
It's like all of a sudden silver decides to move for the first time ever. And platinum too.
Yep.
Platinum's up like $200 in the last month?
I know. It's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
Corey, thank you. Corey says, you won't ask, but I will hit the like button. That's all I need. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Paul, I did. I saw the gold coin you won from the NCW Challenge Coin Contest. That's pretty cool.
That was cool.
Can't argue with that. Ain't nothing wrong with gold coin winnings.
Those are the better ones.
Yeah. So speaking of winnings, my guys decided they wanted to do Whatnot this last month. You know me. I've been a poo-pooing on it since forever, but they're having fun. I'm helping them out. I mean, it's okay.
Are they selling modern coins?
They're selling everything. We're selling jewelry. We're selling Magic the Gathering cards. We're selling Pokemon cards. We're selling everything. So that the other things are great for us. They work well because I don't necessarily have the big outlets they do for that stuff. But the coins are kind of we're getting kind of getting our butts kicked a little bit on the coins, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. So
we found that to be the case. We did not do well with coins on Whatnot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We have all the other stuff. Like we did a show today where we sold jewelry, and it was great. We sold a lot of the scrap stuff. Paula says she bought a couple trinkets she couldn't help. Well, thank you so much, Paula. And one other thing,
his show. I want to get on there and just watch.
It's fun. I mean, well, see, the thing is, like me and Spencer will sit there and just BS like you and I do, or me and Corey, or me and Emma, the shipping girl. She helps me with the jewelry shows because, like I said, I think once before, people aren't going to trust me. Ladies aren't going to trust me to say, hey, that's a pretty ring. You should buy it. That's why I got Emma over there. She's like, she puts it on her finger and you can tell it's a woman finger. So, but anyways, I digress. We also, guys, for the first time tonight are going out live on Instagram.
Yeah.
We're out on the gram tonight. So yeah, there we are. Mine is The Lost Dutchman on Whatnot. So subscribe. We've done 8 or 10 shows now. So there you go. Yeah, coming out.
And on Instagram, we are at The Coin Show. just in case people want to watch.
And yeah, we're also live on YouTube tonight too. Mr. Cooper, yes, sir.
Isaiah stopping in and saying hi.
My daddy's here tonight.
His lovely wife came in tonight, this week.
Nice.
Yes, got to meet his wife. It's very nice. Very nice.
Fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
All right, friends. Well, you ready to fire this thing off, buddy?
I am ready to. I am more than ready. I'm like bottled up and ready to go.
Let's go. Yeah, that was a shimmy.
Okay.
Shimmy shake. Yeah.
It is episode 246 of the Coin Show podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And tonight's show is special. It's our first on Instagram. And tonight we have our coolest thing. So we are going to talk about the coolest thing that walked into each of our shops.
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans, as always. And we're also going to talk about the seemingly subjects of the day. Things like, are they going to melt sense, stuff like that. We welcome your ideas and your thoughts in chat. And we also have just general good conversation and fun. So hang on. And all that comes in. But first, as always, the news.
You never look at me right before we do this because I always give you the eye. Who is it?
The news is brought to us by thunderstorms. Will change your world, but only for a little while.
Till they blow your house down.
Well, I'm just saying that they will change your world, though. So, the United States Mint has set the price for the 2025 Silver Eagles with Army, Navy, Marine Corps Privy Marks. So before we get into the whole price thing, let's talk about the elephant in the room that they don't address. Do we really need these?
Well, they opened Pandora's box when they did the first privies. They opened Pandora's box, and now everybody gets a privy. Everybody gets one because you know what? How can you sell more coins if you can only make 8 different kinds of proofs and 6 different kinds of uncirculated? Then put privies on them. Duh.
Yeah. See, here's the difference between this and commemorative stamps is that I don't think you can ever wear this one out because at the end of the day, it's still silver.
I mean, yeah, but
you may have to drop the premiums eventually.
Right. Not going to happen.
But at the end of the day, you can make these things into eternity.
Hey, can we get a coin show privy? Duh. Why don't we have one? Well, I think that would be probably the most popular one ever.
In our opinion.
No, in anybody's opinion. I think it should be done.
I mean, so these are priced at let's see, it's $25 more.
Yeah, exactly. They're not making they're not dropping the premiums.
$105 for these.
They're not dropping the premiums, they're making them bigger. That's exactly what we've been talking about.
I think that if you make a privy, you should charge more because there should be a surcharge, kind of like the commemorative coin program where you had money that went back to the cause. I don't know if you want to do that, but
no,
it seems like there should be some premium for the privy mark.
Well, Chris says this. Hasn't the Mint learned the trick of just putting them in a slightly different box to sell more of the same coins? Well, they do that. They have like the congratulations set and the birthday set, and then they do that with the Proof Eagles a lot. So
you do it with proof sets, whether you realize it or not. They have the limited edition silver proof set. They have the congratulations set, the happy birthday set. The there's just a ton of them every year.
Hold on. I just read something in this story. Okay. So we're getting an Army, Navy, and Marine Corps privy. Okay, cool. That's good. Armed forces.
Yeah.
As well as separate issues bearing a laser beam privy mark. What the heck is a laser beam privy mark? Anybody?
Well, it's history.
Is it for some other video game? I mean, where are we going with this, guys?
It's Space Force.
There's aliens on the moon. There, I swear.
It's like, I don't know the laser beam, but since there's no design for it, there's still hope that it may not happen.
I like that joke right there. Coins with freaking lasers.
Lasers.
Freaking laser beamers.
So let's see. So yeah, it'll be available Friday, June 13th, with shipping expected to start in July.
I mean, Canada does this sometimes with their maples. I've seen all sorts of funky firework privy marks and Titanic privy marks and all this, but I mean, yeah, I just hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
The release aligns with the Army's 250th anniversary on Trump's birthday, Flag Day, June 14th.
Oh, boy.
Hey, that's my wedding anniversary. I can never forget that one. So let's see.
Chad is loving this one.
The Dr. Vera Rubin quarters are available now in mags and rolls. Have you seen any of these?
Nope.
This may be one of the busiest designs I've ever seen on a quarter.
It's nuts.
And oddly, Vera Rubin was the person that discovered dark matter.
Okay.
Something that you can't see.
So we go from literally nothingness to the busiest coin in American mint history.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It was hard to find the denomination. It's right there next to her head.
Yeah, that's weird looking.
That's a lot going on this coin, but you know, worthy recipient of the honor, and still really salty about the fact that they're only doing these for 5 years.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't, you know, obviously I don't want to say something, you know, bad about somebody that deserves to be on the coin. Of course she deserves to be on the coin, but man, it's just no thanks.
Well, I think it's more that, see, you look at it as somebody, okay, you're honoring somebody who I've never heard of before, right?
Finger guns. Finger guns. I see finger guns. I'm sorry.
You're looking at it from the standpoint of, you know, they're honoring somebody that I've never heard of before. And I think what that really should be looked at as, oh, here's somebody who I really need to know more about.
I mean, and that's great. And that is what they're intending for these to do, and that's what they're going to do, and that's great. That's awesome. But I'm a coin guy. I'm just talking about the coin. I'm not talking about the subject.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. All right.
So the mid statistics say that the American women quarter sets have really become very popular.
Oh no, they're gonna make me put my email in. Okay, well, we're gonna do this.
Any email.
Hold on.
And then it'd be good forever.
Mike@coinshowradio.com. Submit.
There you go.
Thank you. All right, here we go. Okay, back to it.
Yeah, so the women on quarters proof sets have been, you know, selling really, really well. And it was just
packaging it. That's cool.
Yeah. So they have all the mid-images for all the different issues, the mid-issues down at the bottom of this article. And that's really more what I grabbed it for. It's interesting to look at, like, you know, how many of the America the Beautiful coins sold versus, you know, your proof sets for these for the women on quarters.
Well, you're not kidding. They got everything on there, don't they?
They sure do. They sure do. Your innovation quarters, you know, so they're still selling 2023 proof sets.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me a bit. It really doesn't.
Well, because they've got them left over. What are you going to do?
I mean, what are they going to do with them?
They only sold 200 or 370,000 of them.
Yeah. I mean, what are they going to do with the leftovers, though? Like, literally, how do you get rid of those? Sell them to some wholesaler at a deep discount? No. Who knows?
Yeah. But 50,000 quarter proof sets is a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just one of them things.
Our good friends at Whitman have passed the torch of the Cherry Pickers Guide, you know, which it kind of needed a new author. So they have announced that Noel White will now lead, you know, the team at Cherry Pickers.
He's a variety guy.
Yeah, and I think that we're going to see a new cherry pickers a little bit more often. So the new 7th edition is going to be published as a single volume instead of split.
I think that's a good idea.
That's the change that they're going to make. I think it's look, it's one of those things where you're going to make the book way more expensive, but at the end of the day,
the people that want it are willing to pay for it. So
yeah, it's a good research book, and a good research book is worth its weight in gold.
Right, exactly. And I think I almost I'm going to want to probably stock some of these in my office for the people that come in with their mint airs for us to look at and be like, here you go, this is the best book out there for this stuff. Why don't you buy this and delete that app on your phone?
Well, every single one of those need to go.
Yeah.
Whitman has also launched a prestige line of premium albums for modern coin collectors. So they're I think they're trying to fill the hollow still remaining for Dansko's.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think of the look of this? Like that red? And what is that, blue or black? I can't tell.
It seems to be a navy or a black.
Well, forever we know that we see Whitman's as the little blue books, right? So it would make sense if they stuck with some sort of blue.
That to me would seem to be what they would do. But this is a break in tradition. This is also a nicer, this is an upgraded classic album.
Hey, do you guys want to hear something great? Speaking of old Whitman, for all listeners of our show, I was able to secure you guys an exclusive discount code for Whitman. Exclusive discount code for Whitman. It's just The Coin Show, all one word, and you get a nice discount on Whitman's website. So don't tell anybody. It's a secret. Okay.
Right. Keep that
only for our listeners. You guys are the only ones that get this. It's The Coin Show, all one word. I think you can use it as many times as you want. So don't tell anybody. Okay, sorry.
So anyway, so these new albums, they're bigger, they're sturdier, they have new art, and they have soil resistant grain leatherette, genuine leatherette. Think about how many little leatherettes they had to kill.
I've never seen a leatherette before.
Well, it's nagas, naga hide. There's tons of little nagas. So these are going to start at $70. Now, my question is are they like, the Intercept Shield ones, where they're more inert?
I would hope so for $70.
Oh.
For $70, I would surely hope so. But again, we get a discount, so they're not $70 for us, friends.
There you go. That's the way to think about it.
That's right. I already did this, but we're going to do it again. Mike at coinshowradio.com. You're going to get a...
it's already had to do it. Should have been able to just click into it this time.
Nope.
So
let me reload. There we go.
There you go. So this next story is something that's a little bit more topical and I think could deserve a little bit of discussion. I want people... Excuse me, hold on a second. I want people to put a comment on this video if they think that Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Well, he's getting ready to be on a coin, so I mean, I would rather be on a coin than the Hall of Fame, to be quite honest with you.
Well, he would have rather been in the Hall of Fame in his lifetime.
You ever met Pete Rose? I met Pete Rose.
No.
Interesting character.
I don't have a tremendously high opinion of the man. It's like I just never really did, but he's the all-time hits leader. Hits are one of the main components of the game. He belongs in the Hall of Fame. Now the question becomes, does a lifetime ban really mean lifetime?
Well, guess what? He's dead, so
lifetime has ended. So the lifetime ban should end. And there was a big thing the other day where they declared that you don't have to. It was a lifetime ban. His lifetime has ended. Now the ban should end. And my guy, Shoeless Joe Jackson, is another one of these guys that does he belong in the Hall of Fame? So I think for a million reasons, the guy belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Well, M. Lovemo hits it pretty good. Well, he did cheat.
Well, he not only cheated, he bet on his own team. That's the thing that really kills him.
Yeah, I mean,
and he ended Ray Fosse's career, and then they keep showing the highlight over and over again. I've never really understood that one.
Yeah,
1970 All-Star game where he bowls over the catcher in an All-Star game, and he ended the guy's career for all intents and purposes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, but he's going to be on a coin. Do we have pictures of whatever they're deciding on yet? Nope.
I don't believe so.
No,
they're just saying that they've been contemplating putting him on a coin. So I think this is more just kind of floating a trial balloon out there. I don't think that he's going to be on one.
Oh, okay. I thought this was like an official release. It was just
this guy says
op-ed.
He's making the case.
Got it. It's an op-ed.
We're honoring him on a coin. And I'm like, well, I think you should put him in the Hall of Fame first.
Well,
but it's like comment in the comments whether or not you think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh my God! Again. Let's see if I can just reload it. Oh. Yep. Okay.
So this one I think is a really interesting piece. So Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, has signed a law allowing the use of gold and silver as lawful payment. And I really sincerely wonder how this is going to play out because of the power of the federal government to coin money.
Right.
I mean, that's Article 1. So Florida can't mint their own coins. Can they change what they accept as value as long as they continue to accept legal tender?
Well, I think they found the kind of sort of way around it is those gold backs that they're making. They're not coins, they're bills. So yes, they're not minting their own coins. They're making these gold back things that have gold in them, have different amounts of gold in them, and that might work. I don't know, friend. I don't know.
Well, to be honest with you, it's like my thing is it's like, are you really going to try and barter with something that floats as much as gold and silver does? I mean, I just think this is more of a political thing where it's like, real money, that kind of stuff. And it's like, that's not how our money works. It just hasn't been for a long time.
It's not, but we're in such a weird time right now where everybody's trying to reinvent every single thing out there that's worked for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And I mean,
yeah, I know.
Just another in a long list of people trying to reinvent things that work just fine.
The Jack Lee 1900 Morgan dollar in MS68 is going up for sale.
It's a nice coin.
This is the only MS68 Morgan dollar now.
No, it's not.
That's what it says.
Maybe the only 1900, but I've owned an MS68. I owned an MS68 Plus.
Says it ranked among a select few $1,900 graded MS67 by PCGS. Subsequent years, the grading service reassessed the coin's quality, designating it as the only MS68 across all grading services.
The only MS68 of 1900, yeah.
Yeah, so it's got to be for 1900.
Yeah. Yeah, because I owned an ADS and 68 Plus.
Yeah, I had thought there was a 69. I thought there was one.
There are.
Oh, there's more than one.
Yeah, they're out there.
Okay. Accuracy counts.
But
really nice coin. I mean, if you want to know what takes a 68 on a Morgan dollar, this should give you an idea.
Yeah. That coin ends tomorrow. Let's see if we can get it pulled up here at auction. Here it is.
It was at 77 grand.
It's still at
the 8th.
It's still at 77,500.
Okay.
It's got a lot going on. Quite a bit going on the cheek there. But I mean, okay, I can see why it would be a 7 or an 8, and the strike is kind of too above the ear. Not necessarily.
Saying tells me that it doesn't really need to have an 8.
Well,
it should be a 7.
I mean, I look at this right here, and I see right across the leaves here, there's contact and friction. Right across here, there's some strike issue going on above the ear. And then you do have a few marks on the face, including a couple halfway decent sized marks. And then right here on the neck, there's some pretty decent marks too. I mean, from this distance, it's a monster.
Arm's length beauty.
But at like 5x, it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's hard to say. Let's look at their tree views. They have some good pictures. Maybe this will give us a little better idea.
Hopefully.
I mean, yeah, I still see all that stuff.
Well, I mean, it's particularly stuff on the neck. The stuff on the neck.
There's a strike through in the wing. That's as made.
Yeah, that's Muddy.
This is
that stuff going on the neck.
Yeah,
it looks like a rod.
No, I don't know. It might be. There's definitely a couple hits on the cheek, and then the leaves again. And I don't know if that's strike or not. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's like it's really flat above the ear.
Yeah, that's usually a strike issue because that's the deepest point.
Right.
So, but it's also the center of the coin too.
For an 8, it would have to be just absolutely hammered. That's, I think, what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it looks like it's a super luster bomb too, which is probably helps. So
yeah, but you in hand, it's a monster.
Yeah, and Indigo Demon has a good point. It says pedigree bump. Very well could be.
Yeah,
very well could be. That happens. That is a thing. They'll say it's not. The grading companies will say it's not, but it 100% is a thing.
Yes.
Don't let them tell you different. All right, next
curtain.
Yeah, next up.
So, do you remember doing this challenge?
Oh, of course.
Okay, so we've done it a couple of times. I think if somebody were diligent and went back and looked at our old podcasts, I think Matt, you at the last one took like it was it was just straight Silver Eagles.
No, I don't. No, I thought mine was a 1916 quarter. I thought that was it.
Okay, I don't know. But anyway, so how would you invest $10,000
right now?
Well, why not? It's what's in front of us.
Probably the same way I did before. I would find some key date coin that's in that ballpark, and I would buy one single coin. And that would be what it would go. What I would go after,
like a monster top pop, something that.
And I'm sure Jeff probably makes a good point here, talking about how the gold. Because I was talking about somebody about this the other day, and it makes sense because if you think about it, if you look at say St. Gaudens, Double Eagles, and MS64, right? So they've been $3,000 forever, for years and years and years.
Yep.
And what happened was they were up here at $3,000 when gold was at $2,000. Was at 2,100? Was at 2,200? Was at 2,500?
Now it's 3,300.
Guess what? Well, now they're still that same price pretty much, and now they're just kind of dragging along behind spot. So it's not a terrible idea to buy if you think that eventually gold's going to come down somewhere as close as you can get to spot, buying those coins. Because if gold does, peak out and come back down, well, then guess what? They're $3,000 again, and gold's way back down here again. So
I'm sorry, I was going to say, I think that's a brilliant idea, is to find something that's inflated because of the inflated price of gold and just wait for the premium to come back to it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way to protect against a downturn in the price of gold.
Yeah.
Because right now, their value is that of bullion, whereas before their value was a collector coin. So, they may revalue. They might come, gold might go back down to 2,500 and they end up staying at $3,200 or, something like that. So it's one of those things that it's entirely possible. That's not a terrible place to look, but I have sent several Saints. Like I sent this week alone, I sent off 2 Saints in 62 and 6, one Saint in 62 and one Saint in 63 off as just gold because that's all they are. That's all I can get for them.
Well, the worst part about it is that they're flat. It doesn't matter if it's a 58, a 60, a 62, a 64. They all sell for the same price right now.
Yep, that's right. So buy the best coins you can get right now, as close to gold as possible. And then if gold does go down, then you're going to be okay. You're going to be better off than you were if you just had straight bullion.
Yes.
That's my thought. If you want to go the bullion route, that's the way you go. Again, I would just go the single collector coin straight up. one coin as close to 10 grams as I can get. That would be helpful.
I've always said that coins are just a bad investment. So, long term,
that's the level.
There are things that you can do that I think you can win on. But I think your idea, or was that Jeff's idea?
Well, I don't know. I didn't read the article, but I saw that he was talking about Saints or 20 Libs down here, and I kind of that's what spurred that conversation back to me today, or that we had this week. The other thing, it's hard to say because this level that you get to at $10,000 is kind of the level where coins can become an investment, and you'll do okay. That's my point. Is you can look at a $2,000 coin, and in 10 years, it's probably still going to be a $2,000 coin. But these $10,000 coins are the ones that are kind of, they trade. It just takes a couple good auctions, and that's a $15,000 coin. So that's the way you kind of look at those. I hate
just out of reach.
Yeah, well, I hate this conversation because I've had it many a times, and it's always one of those that yes, it can be done, but you have to do it the right way. So
yeah, there's a lot of pitfalls.
Yeah.
Moving on. So PNG has set the dealer day for November Baltimore show.
You want to hear something?
Yeah.
I am now a PNG member.
Oh my.
Yeah, full-fledged member of the PNG. I joined
numismatist on his stand over there.
Central States. Well, I went over. So you have to get references to join the PNG as part of the application process. Right? Kind of, yeah. So my sponsors were John Feigenbaum, Jeff Garrett, and Ron Javitsky from CAC. So it was like, okay. Well, no. But those were the guys that I knew that are in it, and I know. But I went to Jeff and I said, "Hey, Jeff, do you mind, sponsor me for this?" And he goes, "You're going to have to wear a suit and tie." And I said, "Okay, never mind." And he went ahead and did it anyways. But I said, "Oh,
time is short."
Yeah. No, I think they're reaching the level that they're going to start embracing some of these younger guys that don't want to wear a suit and tie all day. So,
and maybe it'd be nice once in a while if they dress up.
I dress up for events, but I'm not wearing a suit on the floor of a coin show. I'm sorry, friends.
No. Well, we get too much other stuff going.
But
anyway, so we digress because are we or are we not going to be at the November Baltimore show?
As far as I know, they haven't signed anything yet, but as far as I know, yes, they want us in November for Baltimore.
Yeah. So the plans are that we're going to be there. It's one of my favorite shows. To do Baltimore, Central States, and the World's Fair of Money, I think is like the triple crown for me.
Right.
So,
yep. This one's in November. I think it's at the beginning of November. Let me look here.
This one is going to be November 6th. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and the funny thing about the PNG and why I joined, part of it was for these dealer days, because PNG dealer day for non-members is like $350 to go to your table early. Well, the PNG membership was like $600 for the year. So there's half of it right there because we'll be there and I can get to my table a whole day early. So yeah, there we go. That's all.
So Jack Young, Dark Side Jack, has brought us a really interesting 16D counterfeit in a counterfeit PCGS slab.
Ew.
Well, at least I'm happier to see it's in a counterfeit slab. It's not.
The slab itself is not good.
No, there's nothing right on it. It's missing the PCGS on the bottom right corner.
Yeah.
The font is wrong.
No, it's got the PCGS on the bottom right corner. I can see it. It might not be correct. They might not have got the right shape of it.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. And the font is wrong.
Yes, it very much so is.
And that's before you even get to the coin.
Yeah.
An 8050 16D, God, how much does that go for?
There, quite a bit, but 10,000 or so.
Yeah, that's a 5-figure coin. That's a big number.
Yeah, that's nuts. It's just getting worse and worse with this stuff. I like how Jack breaks down the barcode, where he actually scans the barcode and reads what it is, how it's not correct. He says this one actually scans to an 1893 US dollar in XF45.
Okay, well, that'll be your first clue.
Yeah. So,
And then he
and
shows you against a real 16D.
right. And
I
this
mean,
is
it's
my favorite part. Actually, is down here where he reports it to eBay,
yes,
and
that's the
eBay
best part.
says it says we did not find the violation of your policy. Why not? The coin's counterfeit. See, the thing is, eBay doesn't care anymore. And most people don't understand that. eBay could care less right now, as long as they're selling stuff. They don't care if it's fake at this point. They
eBay
used to care.
has finally just thrown the switch and let the floodgates open. They don't care anymore.
They just kind of went. They pulled one of these. They just went, eh, and now that's where we're at. So
we used to call the Olay defense.
Yep, pretty much. Which is unfortunate, but that's where we stand with NGC at the moment. So yeah, womp womp.
All right, get ready for another.
eBay.
Get ready for another ad. Oh, and finally, in the news, numismaticnews.net is reporting that this is like the story of the decade. Coin collecting is changing.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah. Wow, is that clickbait?
Yeah, no. It's like they're just talking about some of the different things that are coming out, and yeah, maybe this is a clickbait article, but it's talking about stuff like the innovation dollars, and how the BEP is constantly trying to do more physical cash and more stuff and more interesting things, and they're just constantly bringing out stuff for you.
Yeah, I mean, this looks kind of like
they're doing a DC coin this year, right? They're doing Batman.
No, the content of our coinage is for sale at this point. It sounds like, to the highest bidder, the content and the design of our coinage seems to be for sale. You have laser beam privies coming. We got freaking DC coins coming. I mean, welcome to.
They named the director yet?
Nah, no, not that I know of. But welcome to your coins becoming a giant billboard. Here we are.
Yeah,
that's why I hate modern coins. Always have, always will. Sorry.
I'm starting to hate modern coins. Although, you know what? I can say, well, I collect 20th century coins.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that is very good. That's a good point.
Yes. And that was the news. And the news was brought to us tonight by thunderstorms. We will change your world, but only for a little while. We're thunderstorms.
I like that one. Oh, well, chat, what do you think about the news? You guys got any comments, questions you want to take about the news? We can talk about that for a couple of minutes. Oh, here we go. There's a hot one right off the top. Let's hear you guys' take on how Wittercoin is doing that gambling trash. They've really sunken low on whatnot. Well,
allegedly. Let me just say that really quick.
So from selling now on my guys and I selling on whatnot a little bit, the only people that draw the really huge crowds are the guys that play the games. Period. Full stop. Period. The end.
Yeah, it's Carnival Barker is really the best way to do it now.
It's just an online casino. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it really is. So,
hey, and some guys are really, really good at it. Bjorn is fun to watch.
He is, and he does actually do sales of real coins. They do games too, but he does sales of real coins. The other night, I watched him sell hundreds and hundreds of coins in an hour, just for straight up bids, which was interesting. So,
I bought stuff from Trader B. That's
yeah, they do both. And they're real coin dealers. Those guys know what they're doing. They're real people in the industry. If you know them, you can literally walk up to them and say hi. I mean, they're people. They're at the shows. They have a presence. So, yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm kind of glad I got the phone call from eBay this week, telling us that we're getting ready to get tapped for eBay Live. So that'll be fun. That should be, because that's what I think has been. Because as much as it pains me to say this, I think that live stream selling is the future of buying and selling coins online, at least, because the cameras are getting good enough where you can actually get a pretty darn accurate representation of a coin, what it looks like in hand. So I am not necessarily against that, but I am against the gambling aspects, the games of chance, the giveaways. It's all just crap. I mean, and being quite honest, that might get me kicked off whatnot. I don't know. It just is what it is. But I've always been, when eBay said they were coming with a live platform, I expressed interest, I think, a year and a half ago. And I think it's invite only right now. And we just got the phone call the other day. So we'll see how that goes.
I don't know. I think that, yeah, there's a lot of people playing games out there, and sometimes it can be really entertaining to watch. I have long had this idea about buying coin, or at least selling coins in a live stream.
Right.
And I've actually had the idea for 4 or 5 years now on how to do it and how to get it done.
You can do it. I did it.
It just takes persistence.
I think we used to have some live streams in some of the old school Facebook groups. We were doing that probably 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Even a little longer.
Wasn't Bjorn doing that?
Yeah. Bjorn was doing live sales for a while, but this was even 3 or 4 or 5 years before Bjorn was doing it. Just had little groups of them. So, it's a thing. It's coming, and it is the way. I don't want to, want to harp on that too much, because that's just my personal opinion, but it just seems like that's where it's at right now, because
it also seems that less fraud can take place when it's live, right? We
were talking about this today, actually, in the office too. It's hard to say that you didn't get what you were bidding on when literally we strive to make a video of exactly what that coin looks like, so you see every little thing that you're going to get. You know what you're getting. So that's the part that I like about it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So, hey, Joseph Cooper, this is a great thing to live by. Only buy from people in the hobby that I trust. That's the way to do it. You just got to make relationships with the right people and understand who does it the right way and who doesn't, or who doesn't, and that's a personal choice that you get to make. So there you go.
Indigon Demon says, I only typically buy sub $100 or over $750 coins on eBay. Not sure why. I think it's because the $200 to $600 range on eBay is like the playground of the devil.
Yep, it's where all the dealers sell their crack out coins.
Yep, it's where all the garbage goes. So
because coins over $750 on eBay are usually slabbed. So they're already slabbed and taken care of. And coins under $100, if there's something wrong with it, it's not that big a deal. But it's those coins that are like $400 that are raw on eBay. There's a reason why it's raw, because something's wrong with it. So,
I didn't mean less fraud from the way of selling fakes. I was talking about there's less of a chance of you claiming to have something that you don't if you are live, because you have to show it, you have to talk about it and stuff like that. So,
well, and that's the other thing. If they're not giving you enough time to examine it and determine that it's genuine in your opinion, then that's not good either.
Yeah.
That's something I was telling my guys about the other day. I was like, they run on one of these fast auctions, and it's like, no, guy. I would rather stretch them out a little longer and let people actually see what they're getting. So, I don't know. Jack Young, Matt, how's the indie show shaping up? It's coming along just quite well. I had I got a phone call the other day from a Mr. Tom Reynolds from Omaha, Nebraska, copper specialist who will be attending our show. So there's dealers coming from all over the country: California, Colorado, Michigan, Florida,
Illinois,
California, Illinois, that are all coming to set up at our show. So I'm very happy to report that things seem to be going well. Security is taken care of, tables are taken care of, and Matt just purchased 140 display cases to rent out at the show. So yeah, things are going great.
You made a comment about the coin designs being for sale. James Crandall said the coin design for sale was obvious with the 8 era privy.
Yeah.
And I agree. I downloaded the game, and I can't even bring myself to playing it.
Yeah. But yeah, it is. It's a weird time right now. Our coinage all the design on our modern coinage seems to be for sale to the highest bidder. And I hate to say that, but I mean, it is it's not hard to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, shoot.
So here, I've got something that I wanted to talk to you about, and it was at the last link in the news. So, will the U.S. Mint melt down older Lincoln cents? This becomes a real question, and right now, currently, it's not legal.
No.
So we can stop with that. But let's say that because the penny is, if they actually stop the denomination, will they allow the melting of it? And even if they don't, will they go someplace else across the border?
If they stop minting them, then that means that there's no longer a use for them, and that means that we will no longer be using them if there's not a use for them anymore. So yes, I think that they probably will say, if they do indeed axe the penny forever, they will come along and say, okay, you can melt them now. That's what's going to happen. Nickels, no, because we're still using those. That's going to be our new penny. But
yeah, we're making them at a loss, so that's perfect. That's right in line.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it's just what I think. What's going to happen to us? They're going to change the composition on the nickel.
Probably.
They'll end up making it out of either stainless steel or some kind of vanadium or some,
the what?
Vanadium or just some.
They're probably making it out of plastic.
Probably I tried that once.
I know, and I think they're going to do it again. So, how would they be able to segregate the pre-82s? You can actually do it by weight.
What you do is you take a pre-1980, 81 or older cent, put it on this end of a popsicle stick.
That's a real primitive method. Hey, I don't think the Mint's going to sit there with their popsicle sticks. There'll be a way.
Tongue depressor.
And it may actually use electrical conductivity. That's probably different on the coins as well. So they'll be, and the thing is, you say the U.S. Mint melting them, it won't be the U.S. Mint. It'll be the public. It'll be people out here that are doing the melting, because the Mint, it'll be, the government, the Fed might melt whatever they have around, but it's not like they're going to start snagging them, when they get turned in, because nobody's going to turn them in.
I think something else is really important to understand, and I think this is kind of the thought revolution that's going on in this country is, what powers do what places. The U.S. Mint is not a thing that owns money. It's a manufacturing plant. That's all it is. So no, they're not going to hang on to it. They're not going to recall it. It's you, the American public, that owns coinage. So you're going to be the ones that end up,
right. And Eric makes a great point. What is illegal is to melt it for a profit. The way the law works is a dollar bill, $100 bill, a $50, a penny is yours. When you have it in your possession, it is yours, and you can do whatever you want with it as long as it's not one of two things. As long as you don't try to turn it into something it's not, i.e., bleaching a $1 bill, printing $100 on it, and trying to spend it as $100. Can't do that. And then you cannot destroy it for profit, which is what we're talking about here, where it's melting it down and turning it into copper or zinc or whatever it is that you're going to melt down into, and then going that direction. So that's what makes it illegal. Other than that, if you want to chuck your pennies in a bonfire, you go for it. They're yours. You can do whatever you want with them. You want to carve them, you want to drill holes in them, you want to make rings out of them. That's all legal.
So M. Lovemo says, well, all Congress has to do is pass legislation to allow the melting of coins.
That's true.
No, they have to pass legislation to allow the melting of cents, because melting silver coinage is already legal.
Yes, because those are not circulating anymore. Right. The coinage of silver no longer circulates, so that's why there's legal to melt.
Not destroying a useful item in their mind.
And the other problem you would run in. The other problem you would run into with that one was overnight, both cents and nickels would disappear. There would not be enough to go around, and we're just going to use a nickel. So you can't just do a blanket melting of all coinage.
You'll find nickels laying around on the ground after this.
Yeah. So that's my point is a nickel's got 7 cents worth of nickel in it. Look at those percentages, buddy. That's a pretty great return if you go out and buy all the nickels you can find at a nickel piece and melt them.
Yeah, they're 3/4 copper. People just don't realize that.
Yeah. So
I think Canada. Yeah, I think that Canada is always going to be our bellwether. I think that what they've done, in eliminating it, and I don't think they really care what people do with cents anymore up there.
Yeah. Yep, they don't, and you can melt them now. I'm sure of it up there.
Yeah.
So that's what happened here.
It's interesting because we had a news crew in our shop asking about, well, they're going to stop making. Look, the one thing that I know for sure is they're going to make sense next year. They're going to make them for the semi-quincentennial. They're not going to stop before that.
We'll see.
After, maybe
they could only make
sets. Who knows?
They could only make them for collectors next year. They won't. Right. They may not make them to circulate, but they'll probably still make them.
But they will still make them.
And that may be how they get around this needing Congress to pass the legislation, just like Kennedy half dollars. They don't really make that many of those for circulation anymore because still nobody uses them. So they do make them for the sets. They do make them for rolls. They put some out for circulation, but not very many.
Every few years. Last year, they actually issued them for circulation again.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Every few years, they actually decide, like, okay,
I guess. No, it took from 1996 to 2023 for them to make them for circulation.
That's my point.
Yes.
And that's probably what will happen with pennies, is that they will continue to put them in the mint sets, continue to put them in the proof sets. You can buy them from the mint in rolls, maybe, or fun little bags. But other than that, they're not going to be in circulation. And that's how they get around that, the government having to approve not making them, because they're still making them technically. Technically, they're making them. But, yeah, that's how they get around it. So there you go. That's my thoughts. What's yours?
Yeah, leave them in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you think about the set, and should you be able to melt them? Will they be meltable once they're I don't want to say demonetized, but once it's no longer a valid denomination?
Yeah, I mean that is true. All right, buddy.
Fill his penny roll. Okay, it's become that time, my friend.
It's because that time where you lose.
Well, look, I will put my track record up against you. I have no problem.
Well. You've been doing well, but tonight
you kind of poked the bear last year because you really let me have it. We tied. I'm like, okay, I am going to bring it. I am going to bring it every week or every show, and this show I have brought it again.
Yep.
And we're going to see what happens. So you want me to go first?
Yep, you're going first. Here we go.
Okay. So what we have here is a national currency note. This is hold on a second. I need to find No, there was a picture that I had of it that had the FR number and stuff like that. That's just always helpful. Yeah. Anyways, this is a national currency note. This is what is called a charterback. So these were issued in the 1880s. They were issued by the individual banks. This one has been issued by the National Bank of Commerce of St. Louis in St. Louis, Missouri. It's a $10 note, and their charter number is 4178. So if you look at the reverse, you will see the number 4178 emblazoned.
You know what else they call these? I bet you can't guess.
Brownbacks.
They call them brownbacks. Yeah.
You got greenbacks and brownbacks.
I always thought that this particular design, especially, these are actually really cool because they have the state seal of every state that made these on the back of the note. And they're actually different. I know a guy that collects variations on these state seals. So it's very interesting. But
I never noticed that.
Yeah, every single one has the state seal on the back of the note. So
that's cool.
Yeah, these are fun notes.
This is a really nice note. This came into the shop. It is I would call it like a high-end VF, low-end XF. If you notice the thing at the very top of the right-hand corner of the signature, it's a spinner signature, and this guy just always liked to drag it down. So that's from the note above it on the sheet.
Yeah, these came in sheets of 4, I believe. It was well, depending on the denomination, I think it was
1
3.
5 10 20 50.
No, I think on these it was 3 10s and a 20.
Okay.
And then on the other ones it was whatever the other
2 and 5.
Yeah. I doubt, I'm not sure they probably issued 2s, or sometimes they only issued 5 10s and 20s a lot of the times. So that's a cool note.
Issued by the bank itself. So this one, it came across our desk. We bought it and we promptly sold it because it is an absolutely gorgeous note. This note sold, if I'm not mistaken, I think I sold this for somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000.
Yeah, I mean that's probably it's a nice looking note.
It's between 4,000 and 5,000.
It's a cool note, but you know what's cooler? What I brought. Sorry to say.
We'll see.
Yeah. You guys know me. You guys know that I like the strange, the unusual, and the absolutely freaking awesome. Well, that is what I bought this week. Let me show you guys a picture of what I bought. Doesn't look like much, but read it.
Check number 94, 1928.
Yep, but read what's in between.
Made in Japan.
So this, my friends, is an original U.S. Mint cloth bag that at one point in its lifetime contained $5,000 face value in 1928 St. Gaudens Double Eagles.
Had 250 $20 gold pieces in it.
Yep. This is an original bag for Double Eagles. I've owned Morgan Dollar bags. I've owned Carson City bags. This is probably the coolest one yet. So
I have to say, this is really cool. I mean, this is an awesome bag.
Yeah. And you know what I'm going to do with it? I have a great plan. I'm going to get it framed. I'm going to have the bag. And then at the bottom, I'm going to get a 1928 Saint, like 65, and have it set in there with it. And then we're going to hang it on the wall of the office.
See, there's a lot to cull from this, though. If you look at the bag, now you know how they knew looking at the bags what was in them.
Yep.
Because it's marked right on there, 1928 Philadelphia Double Eagles.
And you can also see how really easy it would be for a coin to get a bag mark, because literally that was what they were issued to the banks in. They put a little string on the top with a lead seal, and they were like, here you go. And they just, that's where all this stuff comes from. So, yeah.
250 Double Eagles, man. That thing weighs quite a bit.
It would weigh a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what I bought. That is what my coolest thing was. I hate to say, but I think it's pretty darn cool. I'm pretty excited to get it put in the frame.
I will tell you this. So you could not have bought this bag with my note.
No. No, couldn't have. No, but I mean, think about that. That was $5,000 face value in 1928. What's the exchange? What's the adjusted with inflation rate on that? Let me find out.
So 5,000. It was pegged at $20 at $20 an ounce, and it's currently $3,300 an ounce. There were 250 of them. It's roughly 248 ounces.
So hold on, give me just a second here. I just want to see what adjusted for inflation the actual face value is today. So it says adjusted for inflation, $5,000 is worth roughly $93,000 today. I think I'd much rather have the gold.
Yeah, because what's the gold worth?
Because you figure that's 250 coins times 30.
Roughly 248 ounces.
Say 820. So a cool $825,000.
Ah, yes.
So
that'd be hard to throw away.
Yep. Okay. We're going to put the vote up here before too much longer on Friends of the Coin Show. If you guys are not on Friends of the Coin Show, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, you should be.
Over to Facebook, search Friends of the Coin Show. It's our exclusive group. You see every single thing we post and every single thing everybody else posts. It's a great community. You will really enjoy it. There are a lot of very helpful people there. It's good. It's good fun. It's good, clean fun, family friendly. Come on, hang out with us. And you can vote on who wins the coolest thing too.
And every once in a while, you'll get into a discussion that, may not be seen anyplace else.
That's true. There's a lot of good information because, we do actively monitor it. There's not anybody in there that will. If somebody comes in there and starts spouting off bad information like it's the gospel, it gets deleted real quick. That stuff doesn't fly in our group. Even though I see it in a lot. I see it in a lot of other Facebook groups and coin Reddit especially. But you know, it's definitely a place to come and learn and have a good time if you're not there. So,
and share your knowledge and share your enthusiasm and your love of coins.
Lord
So we would like to thank all the people that contribute to the show. There's Corey, there is Ernesto, there is Barry and Justin and Anna and Russ, and I'm missing somebody. I know I'm missing somebody. Well, you and me. And but most of all, we'd like to thank you for listening. If you like this and you like our show, please give us a like, give us a thumbs up. That's the only time I'll ask you. And it really does help the show out. Make a comment, share it with your friends, talk to them about it, and share this show and some of the stuff that we do. We have a really cool interview up with Randy Teton, who was the model for the Sacagawea coin. And it was a hangout that we did. So she wanted to come on and she wanted to spend an entire hour.
It's fun. If you haven't watched it, you should. It was great.
It was really fun. She was a real sweetheart, and she's just a pistol. So she was a lot of fun, and I'd love to have her on again. I'm sure we will. So thank you to everybody who listened, and thank you to everybody who helped put us together. Without you, we wouldn't be doing this. Follow us on, Facebook, now on Instagram, and on YouTube.
And
well as
ticking the talks.
Oh yeah, we're ticking the talks. That's right.
Yep.
For now.
There's more.
While they still tick.
Yeah.
So for the Coin Show, I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And we haven't ended this in a long time like that, but we'll talk to you next time on episode 247 of the Coin Show podcast.
I know it ends, but it ends well. Let's all get together. We'll sing louder than we've ever. 'Cause this isn't forever. But forever ain't tonight. 'Cause we got tomorrow. No matter how hard you try. This isn't forever. While we're singing our song, we forget that it's ending. It's that it's purpose. It's the worthiest thing we do. 'Cause this is it. And forever, but forever ain't tonight. And we've got tomorrow. 'Cause this isn't forever, but forever ain't tonight. And we've got tomorrow. This isn't forever. This isn't the end. Until next time. Until next time. Until next time. This isn't the end.